Well, how y'all doing? It's PawPaw again. Oh, Thanksgiving is going to be here in a little over a month. And I can't think of a wine that I like better around Thanksgiving than cranberry. So we're going to make us a little bit of wine today, and I'm going to set it up in the kitchen cabinet way up high behind a closed door so it's warm and in the dark. And this might end up being a pretty long video compared to my others I've done, because this might be my last wine making video. And I want to make sure I go over a bunch of things and answer a bunch of questions that have been asked many times. And this is just in case this is your first time to watch one of my wine making videos. And before I get all carried away, I want to say thank you to the 97,193 subscribers that I've got right now. I am so excited. You know, it's all that silver button is almost within reach. Now, the numbers of subscribers a person has don't affect their paycheck. It's just an ego thing, you know. It's kind of cool. I don't know why I'm hiccuping so much. I ain't been drinking this wine yet. And I'm going to touch in and out on different subjects here, different facts. One thing I want to tell you is, please understand that a bottle of wine is not a whole lot of wine. A bottle of wine is 750 milliliters. That is much less than a quart. A quart is 946 milliliters, and this is only 750. So keep that in mind, that each one of these jugs that we're going to make up is going to be the equivalent of 2 bottles of wine. All right. I will go through doing this here for you. I have some empty jars that I've cleaned out. They don't have any odor to them and all that. And that's what I'm going to put my excess juice in. I could take another empty plastic bottle I got and make a third batch, but I'm not going to do that. PawPaw, how do you store your wine? Well, I don't make it to store it. I make it to drink. And what I do is, after 30 days from now is when this will be done. At the end of 30 days, and we've got some good tasting wine, all I do is tighten the cap and put it in the refrigerator. Now, I don't have to do that. I could bottle it, you know. You put it in a wine bottle, and you got to make sure the bottle is sanitized and super clean, and it's just, I don't fool with it. That's why I only make 2 bottles at a time. Now, PawPaw, why don't you make it 5 or 10 gallons at a time? Well, if I make a mistake and one of my batches turns bad, I'd rather lose that much juice than 5 or 10 gallons, okay? That's the only reason I do it. Plus, look, this jug is sanitary, or it's clean, it's sterile. There's no bad things in there, no bad germs or whatever. It's sterile, it's clean, and that's what you want. The only thing that's gonna be put, that's going to go into that bottle right there, that might not be sterile and pure and clean and all that, is the fact that I'll be pouring out of a measuring cup or out of a measuring spoon. You know, I didn't put that in boiling water, but it's dry stuff I'm doing anyway. Anyway, let me tell you what I'm doing as I'm doing it right here. It's pretty simple. There are 2 quarts in here. For you European folks, that is 1.89 liters. Now, when I'm talking about my recipe here, I just whether it be a liter or whether it be a quart, they're so close to each other that I don't differentiate. And for those of you that don't know what a cup is, a cup is 240 milliliters. So keep that in mind. Man, I feel like I've been in the daggum wine. I don't know why I'm hiccuping. Whew. Anyway, I'm gonna pour out 2 cups. Now, a quart is made out of 2 pints. And a pint is 2 cups. So, I pour out 1 pint. You see what I got left here. When I go back in and add my 1.5 cups of sugar, it's going to raise it up a little bit, but not much. And then I'm going to have my head space for when it starts working and foaming and bubbling and all that. There's room for it to do its action and not stop up my cap. Now, I use, when it comes to yeast, what I'm using is just plain old ordinary yeast that you buy in the packets next to the flour in the grocery store. Now, there's 1/4 ounce in each one of these packets, or 7 grams. There is enough in here. There's almost 3 teaspoons in a packet. I use 1/4 teaspoon per quart, so we've got enough in one of these packets to make 3 gallons. And that's something if you're going to make you up 3 or 4 or 5 gallons at a time. Yeah, just use a whole pack of yeast. Anyway, cranberry. One thing about it, after it turns to wine, it won't be so tart with all that sugar added to it. All I'm doing with these is I'm just going to put these in the refrigerator and have juice to drink. Alright. People say, can I use cranberry juice cocktail? That's what this one right here is. And they worry about preservatives and all that. Now this only contains 27%, gosh, excuse me, only contains 27% juice. It's made of filtered water, cranberry juice from concentrate, sugar, ascorbic acid, that's vitamin C, vegetable juice for color. Now, this has been pasteurized, and it doesn't say anything in here about preservatives. So, whatever. There's a lot of people out there worried about preservatives. Oh, it's not going to work if it's got preservatives in it. Yeah, whatever. Now my recipe is real simple. It's 1 quart, 1 cup, 1/4 teaspoon. 1 quart, 1 cup, 1/4 teaspoon. Now, there is 1.5 quarts in that bottle right there. So I'm gonna have to put 1.5 cups of sugar. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna have to make a funnel real fast. That's one. Okay, we got 1.5 cups of sugar in there. You see how far it raised it up, but we still got plenty of head space here for when it starts working. Now, people talk about rapid yeast and distiller's yeast and winemaker's yeast. I mean, they just wear me out on it. And I'm like, well, your rapid yeast, it does work quick. But what happens is it gets that foaming going so darn fast. It foams so fast that it really makes a bunch of foam up on your bottle, and I'd be afraid of it bubbling up and getting up in my cap and making it sticky and not working. Now, I don't know why people have such a problem with this concept, but it's just for every quart of juice, it's a cup of sugar, and it's a 1/4 of a teaspoon of yeast per quart. Okay, now then, here comes the shake and wait. It's not fried, Daddy, it's shake and wait. And we help. Anyway, I was going to have my grandson do this to show y'all how easy it is to do it, but I was afraid the YouTube police would get on to me about a minor making alcohol. I guarantee you, my grandson will know how to do this. Okay. Now then, all you do is you loosen that cap enough to work when you give the bottle a little squeeze, you can hear the air escape. And I don't know if y'all can see it. Well, I know you can't. But when I squeeze it, that cap bounces up and down. Now, yes, you can buy air locks and all kinds of fancy shit, But this is an air lock. See, this cap raises up when pressure builds, and then it sits back down when there's no more pressure. So there. Pawpaw, when do I shake it up again? When you set this thing up in the cabinet or in the closet or wherever you're going to set it, you set it and forget it, and don't you dare touch it for a month. Don't be looking, don't do nothing, folks. The hardest part for a new person doing this is they gotta look at it, they gotta check it out, hell, let's shine the flashlight on it. Yeast don't like that bright light. And anyway, you're just gonna shake it up when you think you've got it all dissolved. Shake it up some more, ain't gonna hurt nothing. Now, let's see here. How long does it take? Well, the wine at about 70 to 72 degrees, it will make in about 3 weeks. But I like for it to set for at least another week, because imagine all this bubbling going on, you know, like imagine you got a pot of water on the stove and it's bubbling. Well, it's churning that water, right? I mean, it's got all kinds of action going on. Well, in a small scale, that's exactly what's happening in your jug of wine as it makes, is those bubbles are coming up and they are disrupting, you know, the liquid and all that kind of stuff. It's all, you know, it's all moving. Maybe moving slowly, but it's moving. So after it's made, after 3 weeks, and then you set it aside, or you leave it set for, like I said, a month. After that 3 weeks, then what's happened is the yeast has reached the point to where it's no longer viable. It's reached a certain alcohol level that kills it. That's why there's distiller's yeast, there's winemaker's yeast, there's different kinds of yeast based on the alcohol level you want. Well, let's get you drunk. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually fell asleep live doing a live stream one time. I was sitting there drinking it like it's Kool-Aid, and all of a sudden I'm out. I don't know how long I stayed asleep. Finally, I woke back up. People's hollering at Homestead Tessie, call him, wake him up. Anywho, yeah, it'll get you drunk. At the end of 30 days, what you're going to find is that the top of that is dead calm, like a cup of coffee, like a cup of stale coffee. You know, it's been left out overnight. It's just dead. And that's what you're looking for. You don't want any bubbles at all. Not even one. If you see one bubble, it's still working. Just leave it alone. Okay? But at the end of 30 days, what's going to happen is the churning is going to stop. And then all them particles that were floating around in there settle and sink to the bottom. And then your wine is just so pretty and translucent. It's beautiful, beautiful. And what I do is I just pour gently from the jug. I just pour out real careful and ease it back up, because that sediment actually forms like a little white crust on the bottom of there, and it just stays. When you're pouring, if you're pouring real slow, you'll see that nothing's coming up as far as sediment. And then as you get lower, you start seeing a little bit of whatever coming, then you might want to rack it thin, but a little ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't poison. Pawpaw, will this you know, is it poisonous? Will it hurt me? Will it kill me? It's juice, it's sugar, it's yeast. God, some people worry about so much stuff. Methanol. Well, what about methanol, Paw? You know that methanol makes you go blind. Do a little bit more research before you ask me such a stupid ass question. Methanol comes from the distilling process, not fermentation. So we ain't generating no methanol here. If we was, it wouldn't be enough to blind a piss ant. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Let's do another. I'm gonna do some apple. Everybody likes apple wine, man. It's good. Now, if you don't like your wine as sweet as what I make, cut back on your sugar. That's all you gotta do. Just use less sugar. 1 cup works all right for 1.5 quarts. But I'm like, okay, if you don't like the sugar or the sweetness of this, if you want to water it down, use some seltzer water or use some club soda. Put all the fizzy particles, you know, the little bubbles in there for you. You think you're drinking champagne. You think you high class. I will tell you, I still laugh. I still laugh at these naysayers, these wine experts that talk about how what I do won't work, and you ain't gonna get no, that ain't gonna work. They don't work that way, and all kinds of craziness. And I'm like, I don't know why you're dissing my channel and what I'm doing. I'm like, when I'm watching somebody's channel, and if they do something I don't like, hell, I don't berate them about it. I just don't watch them no more. You know, I don't have to subscribe. Cup and a half of sugar. A quarter and half of a quarter. There you go. Or 3/8. I laughed so hard. So many people. I made this wine, and hell, I let it sit over an hour before I drank it. It didn't get me drunk. And I said, probably made go to the toilet though. But I made a video, you know, homemade wine in 40 seconds. And that's the mixing up part. It's not how long it sits. Remember, it may take you just a little bit of time to mix it up, but you gotta let it do its thing for a month. Oh man. Well, we got one more to go. Yeah, I mixed up my measuring cup. So 2 cups. Now this one is not cranberry juice cocktail, but it is a combination of, it's flavored blend of 4 juices. And even though it says cranberry flavored blend of 4 juices from concentrate with added ingredients, 100% juice. It is cranberry, grape, apple, pear, and then it's got pectin and ascorbic acid, vitamin C. It's pasteurized, gluten-free, lactose-free. Alrighty. Now, so let's put us a cup and a half of sugar in here. Yeah, I wanted to get some cranberry wine going for Thanksgiving, and all right. Yeast. 1 quart, 1 cup, 1/4 teaspoon. 1.5 quarts, 1 cup and a half, 3/8 of a teaspoon, or 1.5 quarts, 1.5 of a quarter. Let's see. I think that's pretty much. Oh, why? Let's see. How long? Temperature needs to be above 70. You do not put it in the refrigerator to make. You do not use cold juice because it's got to come up to 70 degrees for it to kick off. Had some people say, I took mine out of the refrigerator and mixed it up and it ain't bubbling or nothing. Well, yeah, it's too damn cold. So this is right off the shelf, or right off the table here. Bought it yesterday. Let's see, anything else? Why juice versus fruit? What could be easier? Fruit doesn't ferment. Fruit juice ferments. And that's where you get your alcohol. It's from the juice. So, and you can argue with me all you want to. Oh no, them apple slices in that cider, boy, they fermented. No, they didn't. They might have absorbed, some alcohol from the mix you got going, but no. Solids don't ferment, liquids do. I don't know what else I can address. I mean, I'll be back in 30 days and sampling this, see how good it is. But that's all there is to it. We're going to shake and wait. two of my viewers mentioned that. I thought it was kind of cute. Shake and wait. So I just make sure it's all shook up good. Like I said, when you think you got it shook up enough, shake it up again. I'll let that sit there a minute and I'll make sure all my sugar's dissolved. We'll put it in the kitchen cabinet, and in 30 days we'll come back out here and see what we got. I am looking forward to it. I'm going to try to get my daughter to sample it with me. Maybe get her, because like I said, I just had COVID, so my taste is all boogered up. But I don't know what to, look at all that bubbling going on. This is why you want headspace. As that foams up, you don't want it to get up there in the cap, so you got to give it some room. All right. Well, folks, I want you to know that I appreciate each and every one of you. And I appreciate each and every one of you 97,193 people that have subscribed to my channel. It means a lot to me. Watching my videos makes me money, but subscribing feeds the ego, I guess. I get excited when I see that. Well, I don't know what else to tell you, except have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Like, comment, and subscribe. My pawpaw only needs a few more subscribers. Thank you for subscribing to my PawPaw's channel.